The way we think about the opportunity for AI precisely is there's really four dimensions. The first is to use it internally to drive incremental efficiency in the business. And we have, at this point, 30 kind of specific deployments of AI across every function in the business. We have another 30 that are kind of in pilot mode. So we're starting to kind of rapidly scale that up. And we're seeing ranges of impact there. Some are mild, some are pretty significant. The second is that we think that, as we talked about earlier, I mentioned earlier, this rise of AI and specifically agentic AI really is a demand driver for data integrity. And so making sure that customers understand how important data integrity is to being successful in your AI initiatives is something that we've spent a fair amount of time, not only messaging from a marketing perspective, but also developing services offerings around how are you going to govern your usage of AI and what role is data going to play in that? How are you going to get started on various agentic AI initiatives, and where does the data live that you need to feed into that agent? So helping customers connect data integrity to kind of their ambitions. And then the third piece is around how do you deliver features that are based on AI that allow customers to get to value faster. And so there, I think there's a few different opportunities, but I'll pick on data quality. Historically, from a data quality perspective, the process was that I would scan a data set, I'd understand the issues, I'd build a bunch of rules that are specific to my business, and then I'd apply those rules. And if you look, we're a large player in data quality, and we've had products in the market for 30 years. And if you look at some of those mature deployments, they're managing thousands of rules. And there's a lot of toil that is associated with kind of running that data quality program and a lot of manual effort. And we think there's a really significant opportunity to remove that and have the AI recommend, hey, these are the issues, and so therefore these are the rules. One of the features we're delivering is an ability to be able to type out, here's my business rule in in natural language, and have that be reflected in a regular expression that could be applied and technically to the data. And that's important not only because it speeds up and reduces the manual labor, but it also allows the business to get more connected to how do they improve the data, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that have that kind of context and expertise around what the rules need to look like from a business perspective. And then IT historically has been the one that translate that into some sort of code that gets applied to the data, and that process can be not only long, but also error prone. So those are just some of the examples. The fourth dimension is just from an acquisition perspective. We've done a number of acquisitions over the last decade since I've been CEO. And we think there are areas in the market that are interesting from an acquisition perspective that with the rise of Gen AI and agentic AI. And so, certainly areas like that we don't operate in as much today, for example, unstructured data is an area that's interesting. So those are kind of the four dimensions that we look at in terms of opportunity as it relates to AI for Precisely.